Coming up on Retiring Well, we're talking about all things Social Security. We're going to be getting into the history of Social Security, when to potentially draw it, the what, the who, the how, and also looking at a case study of two different examples, which you might fit into one of those. So stay tuned to learn a whole lot more about Social Security and much, much more.
Retiring Well, brought to you by Centennial Wealth Advisory, financial advisors specializing in retirement planning and serving all of Northern Michigan. Retiring Well, helping you plan for a successful and comfortable retirement. Retiring Well, plan to retire well.
One of the most common questions that we get asked as financial advisors is when to take Social Security. And it's a great question, and it's dependent on so many different variables. But before we get into that, let's take a walk back in time. Let's go back to where it all started and take a deep dive into the history of Social Security. So going back to 1929, specifically the market crash in October of 1929. After that crash, we saw unemployment at 25%. Over 10,000 banks failed. Our gross national product went from $105 billion in 1929 all the way down to just $55 billion in 1932. And at that point in time, the aging population and the retired workers were kind of just left out to dry. There was no safety net. There was nothing in place. And so because of this Great Depression, something had to change. And it did. So in 1935, on August 14th, FDR signed into law the Social Security Act. And basically what this was a pension plan for retired workers. So it paid that monthly benefit after the age of 65. Okay, now taxes were collected for the first time in January 1937, and the first one-time lump sum payment was done that same month. Now, the monthly benefits that we know now today didn't start until actually January of 1940. Now, with the program being in its infancy, not much changed from January 1940 until 1950. So it wasn't until October of 1950 that we had our first update to the Social Security Act, and that was the addition of COLA, or the cost of living adjustment. So at that point in time, they had the first COLA of 77%, so it was a big increase. And then the next major change happened in 1961. Okay, at that point, you were allowed to start your retirement benefits early, prior to the age of 65. So you could start it at age 62, as we can now, albeit the payment was obviously reduced. And then the next big change happened in 1983 under Ronald Reagan. So what he did was said, okay, we're going to start gradually increasing that full retirement age from 65 up to 67. And then he also made your Social Security taxable. Okay, so he said, hey, if your income for a single filer is above $25,000, 50% of your Social Security is going to become taxable. And for a married couple, that increased to $32,000 for the year. And then things settled down a little bit until President Clinton came along and he said, you know what? Hey, in 1993, he said, we got to start paying a little bit more on taxes on Social Security. So he increased that 50% up to 85%. So obviously some new income thresholds there. So if you're a single filer and you make over the 35K, well, then up to 85% of your Social Security is taxable. But if you're a married filer, that increases up to $44,000. So that was done by Mr. Clinton there back in 1993. And, you know, since then, not a lot has changed on the Social Security front. Although just recently, back in March of 2023, we learned that the Social Security Administration trustees projected that, you know, your Social Security benefits might have to be reduced up to 80% of the benefit by 2034 just because of funding issues there. So there's a brief history of, going through the years, looking at, how Social Security has really changed and where it all started. If you're a history buff kind of like me and you want more information on Social Security, you can go right to ssa.gov and find a great timeline. It'll walk you through all the different aspects of Social Security. But stay tuned. Coming up next, John is going to be talking about what considerations you need to take before you start taking Social Security.
Make the most of Social Security. Although Social Security isn't designed to cover all of your income needs, it's an important part of the retirement puzzle. Download our free booklet on the Social Security decisions at cen-wealth.com and learn how to optimize Social Security for your situation, why timing is so important when it comes to your benefits, ways to supplement your Social Security, and more. There is no cost and no obligation. Simply go to cen-wealth.com, scroll down, and click the download link to get your free booklet on the Social Security decisions.
It's your retirement. How will you live it? How will you be remembered?
Will you be able to take me on vacation?
Will you be there for my ball games?
Will you teach me your values? You'll be able to play with me.
Oh, help me go to college. How will I remember you?
Have the retirement you dream about. Contact us today.
When you have confidence in your retirement future, you can live the life you've always imagined. Because of planning, you now have time to reflect on the wonderful memories of your life. You and your spouse finally have the luxury of leisure time together. To spend fun times with your grandkids, sharing the joy of their excitement about life. Smiling at the thought of quality time with your children and of picking up the check. At last, you have time to breathe and rekindle the love of your life. Why? Because you imagined what could be. You planned for retirement. So today, you own your future.
There are a variety of factors that come into play when you're considering when to take your Social Security. So first, let's start with your full retirement age, which is going to be age 66 if you were born between 1943 and 1954. If you were born from 1955 to 59, then you add 2 months per year, and then from 1960 and after that, then your full retirement age is age 67. But you can start any time between the ages of 62 and 70. It doesn't benefit you to wait any longer than that. 70 is the maximum. But beginning, say, at age 62 or any time thereafter, it's going to reduce the benefits that you draw if you start it prior to, they call that full retirement age, or if you see the acronym FRA somewhere on documents, they're talking about full retirement age. So if you start at age 62, it's going to be, depending on when you start that, what year you were born, somewhere between 25 to 30% discounted from that full retirement age benefit. One of the factors that you're going to want to consider is longevity. How long do you think you're going to live? I know that's a tough one to know exactly, but that's going to factor into when you're going to get the most value out of your benefits. So you can run different comparisons and look at, okay, well, if I start at age 62 versus 66 or 67, or maybe versus age 70, typically you're going to see the cumulative benefits that you draw from Social Security are going to be equal somewhere in your late 70s to early 80s, that you would notice that the total benefits you collected are going to be equal at that point. Waiting longer, though, could also mean that you're able to contribute more into your different retirement planning accounts and building up those future benefits. Another factor to consider, are you single or are you married? If you're single, determine what other income sources that you have to draw from, and will those last for your lifetime to help supplement your Social Security income. If you're married, whose benefit do you start with first? Ideally, you may want to delay the higher earners' benefit for survival purposes. What if one of you were to pass first? Well, it'd be nice to have the higher of the two benefits, and that way you can draw from those bigger benefits for the remainder of both your lifetimes. So there's 50% of the higher earners' accrued benefit could be what they call like a spousal benefit. And so that's when the spouse is full retirement age. This may come into play, let's say, if one of the two of you had lower income, and so then you could still receive benefits even if you weren't heavily paying into Social Security over the years. You got to consider your other income sources. According to the Social Security website, which is ssa.gov, Social Security represents about 30% of the total income needs for retirees. So you figure, okay, that's 30%. 70% has to be made up elsewhere. So you could supplement that with pensions, which I feel like as time moves along, we're seeing less and less of those. You could continue working. I know that's not ideal, but maybe you continue working, and even if it means retire from the career that you've had and pick up some part-time work to help supplement income might be a route to go. Most commonly, though, you see people that have saved their money and put them into different investments over the years, so they're drawing from those retirement accounts. Obviously, there's a variety of ways to structure that. Lastly, what about taxes? I don't have enough time to really dive into that in full, but depending on how your other income sources fall, you could be in a position where upwards of 85% of your Social Security is considered taxable income. And so if you have potentially a big income year this year and you were thinking of drawing Social Security, well, maybe it's worth waiting and starting at the beginning of the following year. So again, there's a lot of things that you'd want to take into consideration when looking at that. But if you visit our website at cen-wealth.com, about midway down on the homepage, you'll find a 16-page guide. It's a free download that you can get all sorts of great information about Social Security, or you're always welcome to give us a call here at Centennial Wealth Advisory.
If you like watching Retiring Well, make sure to go to youtube.com/retiringwell and click the subscribe button to never miss any of our TV shows and other informative videos.
Taxes follow you even into retirement. When you start taking income from your qualified retirement accounts, taxes are owed at your ordinary tax rates. Our holistic retirement planning approach includes tax planning and implementing tax reduction strategies. Centennial Wealth Advisory can help. Call the number on your screen or visit our website and request your complimentary initial consultation.
As you are planning for retirement, where's your journey taking you? Do you know where you are going? How are you going to get there? And what's the best route to take? Do you have a personal retirement roadmap? At Centennial Wealth Advisory, we specialize in retirement planning, and we have designed a complimentary retirement roadmap video series that can be customized based on your personal circumstance and preferences. There is no cost and no obligation. Simply go to cen-wealth.com/roadmap and provide us with some basic information that will guide you to your on-demand, customized retirement roadmap video. Planning is the first step to succeeding. Plan to retire well.
Hey, welcome to this awesome segment on the Social Security decisions. It's the what, when, who, how of the decisions that you have to make. We have an awesome opportunity for you. You can go to our website, www.cen-wealth.com. That's www.cen-wealth.com. And you can get a white paper. It's 13 pages, packed full of incredible detail on the Social Security decision. And you can navigate yourself and see how your current situation might be better improved by you learning more. You know, we're an education first company. We love fostering learning hearts. And this is an awesome, no obligation way for you to start your own learning journey. And as always, if you have questions at a lot of this confusing stuff, we're always here to sit down, no pressure, and just have a really cool conversation about all the different moving parts to your puzzle. Because when you're making your Social Security decision, you don't want to just limit it to one number and that's my income. We take this holistic approach that says we want to look at what other income sources you might have, what kind of investments do you have, what's your investment risk, what's your tax plan, short-term and long-term tax planning, how does your healthcare plan fit in all of that, and then finally, what are your estate goals or legacy goals? And when you put all that together, now you have a plan worth relying on. So let's talk about the what of Social Security. What is the current status of Social Security? Well, about 90% of the Social Security benefits are paid through by payroll taxes. Okay, workers going and getting their taxes taken out, and that's helping to pay the benefits. There's about 3.5% of the funds come from taxes on the people that are getting Social Security benefits, and then there's about 6% that will come from the interest earned on the different trust funds that Social Security has access to. What happens if the trust funds run out? Well, right now there's about $2.816 trillion in these trust funds, and depending on which analysts you're looking at or believe in, they're set to run out somewhere between 2033 and 2035. And if that were to happen and nothing is done, then there's estimating potentially a 20% decrease in the benefits that would be able to be paid out. Now, when I saw that, I got really nervous. And almost even sad. Then I found the website. It's the Committee for Responsible Federal Budget, and they built out an interactive program that you yourself can sit at, and you can say, hey, if I had to make these decisions on how to make Social Security, more feasible for another 75 years, I have 27 different options that you can do. It's interactive, and I started to see, there's a lot of hope that, this problem is a little ways away, and it is a big problem, but there's a lot of different solutions. And as you dive into those solutions, it became, way more hopeful for, things to happen. And we're not going to let fear win, okay? When can you apply for Social Security? Well, as early as 9 months, okay, about 3 months before when typically people will have their benefits start somewhere between age 62, or you could delay them all the way to age 70. Okay, when should you apply? Well, that's $1 million question. That's where we want to start taking in all the different pieces to your puzzle. Okay, if you're born 1960 or later, right now, your Social Security income will grow about 8% a year. We love contractual growth, and we love contractual lifetime income. And so knowing about that might help you say when and how you might want to cover your income before you start your Social Security benefits. Who is able to receive these benefits? Well, if you've worked for about 40 credits, or that's equivalent to about 10 years, then you would be eligible to receive benefits. If you were a stay-at-home spouse, maybe, you could claim spousal benefits and take advantage of the spouse's higher earning average there, that you can go anywhere between 35 to 50%, depending on when you apply, of that that benefit you could receive as the spouse. There's options for ex-spouses if you were married for 10 years, and then there's a lot of options, for those widowers, okay, as far as when and how they can claim for their benefits. Does a job impact your benefits? Yes, it depends. If you're taking income, Social Security benefits before your full retirement age, then yes, there are some limits that you're going to want to be aware of. Hey, how do we supplement our Social Security benefits? Well, that's an incredible question that you would want to know the answer to. So I highly suggest that you sit down and work with your budget, work with your income sources, identify what investments you might have, pensions or different type of income sources, and then try to put that together. And if you need help, we are always here. And finally, how would you apply for Social Security? Okay, well, you can go online to ssa.gov. You can call 1-800-772-1213, or you can simply make an appointment, go into a local office and have that in-person sit down. Hope this is helpful, and again, go to our website. You can get this free action-packed document for you. Have a great day.
At Centennial Wealth Advisory, we take a holistic approach to your retirement planning. So it's not just looking at what your investments are, but what is that long-term income plan for the next 30, 40 years of your retirement? What about taxes and what role they play in your retirement plan? Estate planning, what about life insurance, health insurance planning, all key areas to consider when looking at your retirement. So please visit our website or call the number on the screen. We'd love the opportunity to sit down with you for a no-cost, no-obligation visit.
Your grandchildren are precious to you. They are your life. This is your time to have that special relationship. Taking care of yourself is taking care of them. Centennial Wealth Advisory is offering a free, no-obligation retirement review to make sure you don't run out of money during your retirement. Centennial Wealth Advisory. Your best is yet to come.
Make the most of Social Security. Although Social Security isn't designed to cover all of your income needs, it's an important part of the retirement puzzle. Download our free booklet on the Social Security decisions at cen-wealth.com and learn how to optimize Social Security for your situation, why timing is so important when it comes to your benefits, ways to supplement your Social Security, and more. There is no cost and no obligation. Simply go to cen-wealth.com, scroll down, and click the download link to get your free booklet on the Social Security decisions.
Thanks for watching our show here on all of this different information about Social Security. Hopefully you found it valuable, whether you're looking at taking Social Security, already have taken it, or even many years off in the future. And also don't forget to go onto our website and download this free white paper that we're giving away to read more about what this is and about all the different options with Social Security. We think you'll enjoy that. But what I want to do to kind of wrap up this Social Security talk is do a little bit of a case study and actually kind of use a real world example of some, we'll call them fake individuals here, within a couple scenarios, and put some real numbers in there so you can start to visualize how some of this can look. So the assumption here is we have a married couple. And let's assume both of their birth dates are the same for January 1st, 1963. Their full retirement benefit, meaning that the amount of money they're going to get at what Social Security deems their full retirement age, is $2,200 a month each. So we'll just assume they have same earnings records to kind of keep this simple. And their average life expectancy right now, according to how Social Security models things, is it's 85 years old for a male and about 90 years old for a female. So we're going to assume that's an average life for when we're looking at drawing these benefits. So the first scenario, let's assume they're both going to retire and take Social Security benefits at 62. So basically on their 62nd birthday, they're going to apply for benefits, early benefits, and they're going to start that. That amount is going to be $1,580 a month per person. So they're each going to be getting that benefit. So over a normal life, remember, male to 85, female to about 90, they would collect $1,275,800 over their lifetimes. Can we agree that that's a sizable asset? You know, when you look at Social Security, oftentimes we look at just the amount of money per month, but look at this cumulative asset that you have as you start to collect this benefit over time. That's a lot of money. So again, taking it early, and that's a normal life expectancy. What if they live a short life, meaning 10 years less than average? So be 75 years old for the male and about 80 years old for the female. Well, they would collect $706,000 over that period of time, from 62 to that short life expectancy. So still a sizable amount of money, but boy, you can see the difference in those 10 years, right? So now let's assume same couple, same benefits, all that sort of stuff, but let's assume they didn't take it at 62 and they waited all the way till 70. So whether they kept working or maybe took money from their retirement savings, whatever that is, they just waited to take benefits, both of them, until the age of 70. So now their benefits, remember, full retirement age was $2,200, at early was $1,580. At delayed benefit all the way to 70, their benefit is going to be $3,196 a month per person, okay? So significant jump up there, right? About double of what it was from that early benefit. So now let's assume a normal life again. So 85 again for the male, 90 for the female. They'll collect $1,632,925. So they're going to collect more over that same time period by delaying that benefit versus the early situation. They're going to have that amount. But what if they pass away early? 10 years, remember? 10 years sooner, they'll only collect $638,000, so less than that. So we're going to throw a chart up on the screen here, and this is kind of what we look at as a break-even point. How long do you have to live to justify delaying your benefits? For these folks, that break-even point is about 78, 79 years old. So we're basically, as lines intersect, you can see we're now that delaying the benefit, you're going to start accumulating more money total. Okay, keep in mind, so it's interesting, if you started at 62 to the age of 70, this couple would have accumulated about $320,000 from 62 to 70. So that's a lot of money that you're collecting during that time versus kind of delaying it, right? So what does all of this mean? You just want to be looking at all the options. SocialSecurity.gov or SSA.gov says there's about 9,000 different options for a married couple to consider different combinations out there. So hopefully you found this valuable, seeing some real numbers. Again, don't forget to download this Social Security report that we're offering free to you. Again, thank you so much for joining this week on Retiring Well. We hope you have a fantastic week, and visit us at send-wealth.com.